Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I actually want to show you guys how to create a simple slideshow background like this inside of Elementor. If you guys are going to be having a shop website or any type of website where you need to showcase imagery of your nice products or any services that you offer like lawn care or anything of that sort, it'll be good to always show your image or your work or your products on the actual hero banner. So if I scroll up, you'll see this is actually the hero section of a website. And right here is the hero banner. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. Super easy, quick tutorial. Let's hop right into it. So I'm right here on the dashboard, and the first thing to know is just make sure that you're on the actual page that you want to do this on. So I'm going to go over to pages, all pages, and I'm actually going to use my about page that I used or that I created in my previous video where I showed you guys how to create a custom header and footer. I'm going to go ahead and choose Edit with Elementor. I'm going to open it up in a new tab. Now that it's open, I'm just going to go ahead and delete some of this stuff I used for my previous tutorial. Let's go ahead and delete this as well. We can keep this because I want some more stuff on the actual page just so we can have the scrolling effect. So now what I'm going to do is all I did was press the plus button. So this is going to create a container right above this section right here. I'm going to go ahead and click plus and I'm going to choose Flexbox. And for this, all I'm going to do is use the directional column. And I'm going to go to the container, and for the minimum height, I'm going to go ahead and choose VH, that stands for viewport height, and I'm going to choose 100. And this means that what I do for this container is going to take up the entire screen, 100% of the entire screen, as you see right here. Open it back up. So how I achieve that slideshow background is simply go into the container. For the style, background type, instead of choosing classic where you can choose a simple color or an image, I'm going to choose slideshow. And then for the slideshow, I'm just going to choose my images. So let's just say we have this image here. And 1 second, I need one more other image. I'm going to actually add to gallery, go to uploads and add new. Okay, so now that I have 2 pictures saved, I'm ready to go. Now, don't be discouraged. You can definitely have more than 2 images if you want to. Let's just say you wanted 4 images. You can pretty much do whatever you want, and you can even change the order of which they display. But for the purpose of this video, I just want to show 2, and I'm going to go ahead and insert the gallery. And as you see, here is our first image, and then eventually it shows our second image. So right here, you have a few settings for the slideshow. So we want to keep it on infinite loop because of course it's a slideshow. We want it to keep going over and over and over. But if you don't want to, you can just simply turn it off. For the duration, I'm going to put mine on 3000. This just means that it's going to stay right here for about 3 seconds. Then if we go to the duration, the transition duration, this just means the duration of which it does the transition. So you guys see the transition right now is sort of like a fade type of emotion. And it's saying within that phase of it doing a fade effect, it's going to do that within 500 seconds. So, or milliseconds, that's what we're talking in milliseconds, you guys. So as you guys see, that's where that is. If you want to change this to maybe, let's just do 2, you will see that the transition will happen very fast where you barely even see the transition. So I would definitely say just keep that on 500 because it gives a more animated effect. Now you can obviously change the background size, so you can change this to not contain, never do contain. And I'm gonna go ahead and do cover. And then for the background position, you're gonna go ahead and keep that on default. But if you want, again, specific portions of your video, you can do that. So if you want the bottom left, the top center, you can pretty much do that if you want to. But I'm gonna keep it on default. And the way I actually add a little bit more animation or subtle animation to my slideshow is I always turn on the Ken's burn effect. So I'm just gonna turn it on, and you will see that it kind of does this zoom thing as well when it's doing the slideshow. And now that I have the Ken's burns on, I'm actually going to put the slide duration back up to 5 because I think it's a bit more slower and it matches the Ken's burn a little bit more. All right, so let's just do 4. I think 4 will be perfect. 3 was a little too fast. I think 4 is perfect. We'll keep it at that. And that's pretty much it. You can also change the Ken's direction to be out. So if you wanted to kind of zoom out and then fade, you can do that. But most times, in just looks a little bit better. So we're just gonna do that. And now it just comes to what you want sitting on top. So you can easily just drop in a heading widget and a text editor widget. Then you can even do 2 buttons. So let's just drop in a container, open up the navigation, move this container underneath, and let's go back to the overall container because you cannot see none of the stuff I'm doing. I'm gonna go back to the layout. I'm gonna choose justify to the content to the center, and then also align everything to the center. So now it's right here. Now what I could do is I could also put, let's just duplicate this container here. Now what I could do, the first thing I could do is I could go to the main container, go to style, and I can choose background overlay, choose an overlay. That way, if we just change our text to white really fast, that way you can actually see the items that could possibly be here on your hero. With the slideshow going on in the background, you can actually do it like this. But another way you can do this is just by dropping everything inside of a container here. Even this container, let's drop this container inside of here. And then you can take this container, oops, what did I just do? Let me, history, just move back. I can go back to this container. And now for this container, I can give it a background color of white. Let's change our text color. Let's just say we want the text color to be our primary color. And then we can go back to the main container and we can actually remove the background overlay. Now we can just have it like this. I wouldn't do this since this is pretty bright. The food images are pretty bright, but you could get away with doing this if you so please. You could just go here to the overall container, and let's just say you only want the width to be about 70%. Go to the style tab. We want to go to, advanced tab. We want to give it some padding. So let's just say you want about 40 at the top and bottom and 20 on the right and left. Let's just do 40 on the right and left actually. And then you want to make everything center aligned here. Now this container here, let me go ahead and add my buttons so it looks a little bit better. And there we go. Last thing I want to do is go to the overall, and the box, the sharp edges is just doing something with me. So I'm going to go to border and just change the border radius to 20. And there we go. Now you see we have this slideshow Ken's burn effect animated background. And then we also have our text and stuff behind this box, so it's still visible and it's not like people cannot see what our website is about. And that is also the similar look for this one that we have right here, where we just have our background, then we have all our text and copy right here, and people can go on with the rest of the website. And that's pretty much it. That's how you create the slideshow background inside of Elementor for your hero banners. Now this isn't only subjected to the hero banner. This can definitely be put on anywhere else on your website. Just be sure you're being pretty creative when you're adding it. But that's pretty much it. That's your background. Here is this one, our first example that's a bit more put together, where you have the slideshow in the background, a little overlay if you want to, depending on how bright your pictures are. We also added that Ken's burn effect so we can kind of zoom in and give a more more animated feel to it. And then for the copy of our hero section, aka our H1 and our description and our call to actions, we just decided to put them in a little container. For this purpose, I scooted over to the left, but here it's just center aligned because I know some people might just want their their text and stuff center aligned, which is totally up to you. That is your preference. Didn't make this one look too pretty, but I really just want to go over the concept of how to do this inside of Elementor. If you guys want more one-on-one web design classes or sessions when it comes to web design using Elementor, be sure to click the first link in my description and my bio. I do have classes available. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel out a lot. I thank you all for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.